So he should
So
be on
yeah,
this
you're right.
list. He should be, and he's
Absolutely.
richer than Jordan. Hello. Episode.
Apologies.
What number is
I
this?
was having a drink. I think this is episode 6, right?
Yeah.
6
There are
or
that
7,
many
6, I think.
we lose in count.
We're just drowning in episodes. Too much. Can't even keep up anymore.
They said we'll stop
Well,
at 2, but we still edit.
Yes, still at it. Yeah. Can't wait till we're at 200, repeating the same line at the start of the podcast.
How was your week?
Yeah, not bad. Nothing exciting, to be honest. New YouTube video out this Sunday, but I don't know what will be out first. I think the podcast will be out first, actually. But
I've been seeing a lot of your TikToks.
Yeah, I'm trying the
you
short
are
form.
popping up on my TikToks. I've seen you
That's
on
good.
Your YouTube shorts as well. I haven't searched them. They just come, which I like.
They just pop up. Yeah, that's good.
They just pop up. Yeah.
I'm
the
doing
only
something
one
right.
I have to search is I think you did like a part 1, part 2. I think I didn't get part 3.
All right, okay.
You saved me part 4, so I will have to go to your account to watch part 3.
It's part 3, yeah, that's fine. Well, I've got part 5 coming soon,
I
and
like
a long form video.
Yeah, I like the reactions on your TikToks. I was this guy is making moves.
I guess so. Yeah, TikTok it's people really engage on TikTok, which is something I didn't realize before. Because I think they push your content quite a lot as soon as you post, and people really obviously if it's going, then it's going. But people aren't afraid to comment on TikTok, Some people, some of these platforms, people don't really. But people ask questions, which is good. So I'm gonna keep going. I told you I'm gonna build it right in front of everyone. So see me now. I've also got a schedule for my long form videos, one every 2 weeks minimum, and I've got one coming out soon. Yeah, and I've
I don't even understand TikTok.
Yeah, well, yeah, you will. Don't worry. Soon I'll have 60% of the knowledge, and then I'll pass it on to you, and you can take over. So I got a couple of things. Quickly, we'll just touch on some sport because why not? Have you been watching the NBA playoffs? I know you haven't. But
no, I
you might have heard some buzzes though.
I was watching LeBron.
And well, that's how the game goes in NBA.
That's the type of fan I am. Yeah. You know what I mean? When LeBron get knocked out, then I give up.
So do you? You get knocked out too.
So do I. So do I. It's like, when people ask me, which team do you support? Whichever LeBron is playing for.
Whoever LeBron's at is where you are at. It makes sense. I think I think it's actually a lot more popular in basketball than like football. It doesn't really happen. Like we pick a team and we stick to it. But in basketball, a lot of players like really follow them.
With me, I've not had a team that actually sticks. I still like Philadelphia's 6-9.
Because your boy Allen
I think it's because that was the first team I had a player in that I liked. But after that, I'm like a groupie.
Just follow the main man around.
Yeah, wherever it goes, I'm there.
Yeah, fair enough.
So what's been happening?
There's it's like quite a really interesting final because the two main stars of like the two teams in the finals are like guys who come from like crazy backgrounds. The one has been kind of taking most of the headlines is Jimmy Butler. You might or may not have.
I like him.
Yeah. He's he came from. I think he some crazy story. I think he doesn't know his dad. and then his mom kind of gave him up when he was like 12 or 13. Someone like a single white lady with like 6 kids took him in when he was like 6 and kind of raised him. And he
Yeah.
was never like he wasn't a kid where like they kind of knew that he was gonna make it to the NBA. He was like the kid was kind of like half good at basketball, and he kind of had to grind his way to become like as good as he is. He's one of those like super workhorses. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's just a story that I saw or I heard him in one of the podcasts I was listening to when they were in. Do you remember when during COVID they had the NBA? Remember how the UFC had the island, Fire Island?
Yeah.
NBA did they had a bubble, so I think it was like Disneyland or somewhere in America where they basically closed it off and the teams were just there for the whole time. And he was saying
Yeah.
that the players there, they all got handed like a bag of like cash, physical cash, but obviously because like there was, remember during COVID people were not taking cash, it was just a card only, everyone was also scared. But because they were in the bubble, Jimmy Butler started I think he bought like a fancy coffee machine, like some nice coffee or something, and he started his own
Yeah.
his own coffee company within the bubble. So I think he said he realized that players had a set amount of um, of notes. So I think like let's say everyone had like four $20 notes, and then a couple of $10 notes, and then the rest of it were hundreds. So I think what they said it did, he charges $20 for the coffee.
Yeah.
But then as he's taking the money, at the end, obviously, he's got all the 20s because everyone's like, it just became a thing. All the players started going to him to buy coffee. And basically, at the end, he was like, he'd be like, oh, it's $20 for the coffee. And they'll have to give him 100. And he'd be like, oh, I don't have change. So I'll just take the 100. So he just started taking the hundreds off. Just started hustling, taking the hundreds off one of the players. And they have like, these are rich guys, who just get given this money for the sake of it. So all these guys are like, what the hell? Like, first of all, you're ripping us off, but we don't have anything else to spend the
Yeah.
money on. So yeah, so he was basically charging $100 for his special coffee within the bubble for like, I don't know, weeks or months, however long they were there. I thought it was a really funny story. But yeah, he's
Hustling.
made it to NBA final. Him and against the Denver Nuggets, and it was a funny story. I thought I'd share. I think he's actually starting the. He started the coffee company outside of that. I
Yeah.
think
Clever.
that sparked up.
That's
Yeah,
good.
sparked up the idea, and then he started things like called like Big Face Coffee. I don't think it's off like I think it's off. Like properly taken off yet, but that might be something to keep an eye on
Yeah.
to see if it makes any moves with that. But that was just a funny story I heard. I thought I'd share.
That's amazing.
Um, yeah, I don't know if you have anything, but I've got
No. We're sticking to
a
your
big
list. I
story.
saw your
Okay.
list. I saw your list, and I was like, I am not researching this week.
Wow.
Trevor got
Wow, this
this.
guy. Don't worry. My back is hurting from carrying this
from
podcast, you know?
from carrying.
uh, no, the big news we had this week is Lionel Messi or Leo Messi,
The legend.
depending where you are in the world. The main man. Arguably, well, probably, at
It's
least in
not
our
arguably.
generation, the
It's
greatest player.
cemented.
Yeah, the greatest player to ever play the game, move into the MLS. Apparently, apparently he rejected a 400 million a year offer to go to Saudi Arabia. He rejected that much money, 400 million a year to go to Inter Miami. So I don't know what he's getting into Miami.
Man,
Well, I have a list of what he's getting, but
what
I
are
don't.
they
I still don't
doing?
think that'll be the same amount of money. But I think it's like a long term play for him. But imagine turning down 400 million a year. Huh? It's crazy,
Wow,
right?
that's
And the
amazing.
thing is, he's still good. Like
Yeah, he's
I,
still.
I saw, I saw I think it was on Twitter, a Twitter post where someone said, describe Lionel Messi moving to the MLS in NBA terms. I think it's for Americans because I don't think they realize like how much of a step down this is. So I was trying to think like in what in how would you describe it? Not only in NBA terms, but let's say like use other sports. It'll be like
Okay.
yeah, like for NBA, I would say, but like it'll be like LeBron like leaving the NBA and going and playing in like the African League. It's
Exactly.
like it's such a step below like the standard that he's at. It's absolutely crazy.
It's
Can
like,
you think of
you know,
one?
it's like Usain Bolt in his pumps,
Mm,
like
literally,
leaving leaving the championship circuit, the Diamond
yeah,
League, and then
yeah,
go all the way to the high school.
yeah. Literally,
You
like
know what I
literally,
mean?
it's like
Like,
it's like Tiger Woods coming and playing, at the local golf course around here. Like it's absolutely insane. Right? It's like Lewis Hamilton coming to the local go karting.
into a go-kart. Yeah, it's having
Yeah,
Lewis Hamilton driving around at the go-kart championship. Wow.
it's
Yeah,
absolutely
that's
insane.
yeah.
What do we,
The thing is,
first of all,
like,
what was your initial reaction when you heard it?
um, I to be honest, I wanted him to go back to Barcelona,
Mm,
but when I heard that he's going to MLS, straight away, if you had given me a choice of him going to Barcelona or go to the MLS, I would have said he should go to the MLS
all right,
because
okay.
different people have gone there to grow the game. Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
Like you have to go back to what's that team? It's the Jomo Cosmos with Pele back in the day. Like he was the
yeah.
first one to go there. And then over the years, different people have gone over. And then in our generation, Beckham went there. He made some strides with it. And then
Mm-hmm.
after him,
Thierry
Zlatan went
Henry.
there. He did his
Mm-hmm.
thing. Henry went there. What's his name? Villa, David Villa. He went there.
Yeah, David
Like
Villa
there's
went
been,
there.
there've been really different players that have gone there, and
Mm,
I look at Messi. He's only 35.
it's
All these other
crazy, right?
players went there like nearly 40 or something.
Yeah.
So
Or
I
at least
think
they were way
he
past
is
their
gonna
prime.
rip them apart. Yeah, he's still like
He's still
he's,
arguably the
he's
best player in
still
the world.
he's still brilliant. Yeah. So I think
It's crazy.
what he's gonna do is he's gonna get there and absolutely demolish it. But he's gonna come with like eyeballs. Because he could have
Yeah.
gone to Saudi Arabia, but there's nothing to grow there yet. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And it's not even
It's too early,
guaranteed
right?
that it will grow because
Yeah.
yeah, you remember China was taking all the players and paying them, some ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah.
And most of the players that went there, you remember, what's the Brazilian player from Chelsea went there?
Oscar.
It was Oscar went there,
Oh,
and a few other went, and most of them start coming back. Remember, I
yeah,
think
yeah,
Ronaldinho
yeah.
went there after he
Yeah, of
retired.
course.
He come out of retirement, and he left. He left. He didn't even finish his contract.
Oh, did it not?
So no, he didn't. He just left. I think.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
wow.
he only played a bit. He was like, "Nah, I'm done." I think Saudi Arabia is still like they're
It's too
still way
contentious of a
back.
place. That's what it is.
So
I think the
yeah,
place itself is it's still too contentious. It's too the whether it's true or not. I think the consensus around what the country's like, especially here in the West, it's described as oppressive and that kind of thing. I think from a marketing standpoint, I think they still need to do a lot of to win that's this cultural war kind of thing. Still need to paint like a nicer. See if they said right, we're gonna build a a league in Dubai. Dubai's already
yeah,
painted the perfect picture of themselves. Everyone would be like, oh,
yeah.
and
I'm off there.
all the footballers would have flew there. You know what I'm saying? All of them, they all go there. As soon as every season finishes, they all go there anyway. If they'd found a way to be like,
Yeah,
okay, it's not going to be in Saudi Arabia, we're gonna do in the UAE. It's gonna be in Dubai. Everyone would have flew there. But like Saudi still has some work to do to kind of to sell casual fans, I think, to watch the league. So whereas
Yeah.
America already has that
So it'll be
appeal, right?
fun. I also think. Do you think he would do what like Beckham did, where because
Yeah.
their
So
season is a bit funny. He kind of cuts off a year or
yeah,
something.
yeah. I'm not sure
Because
how
remember, Beckham
how
came
their
back
season
on
actually
loan.
works.
Yeah, because they have
Oh
like a
yes, he
long
did.
break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
remember Henri came back to Arsenal alone as well because they
Yeah, he
had
came back
that
to
little
Arsenal.
play
Yeah, I remember. He came back to
scoring
Arsenal. He
that goal.
scored. Was that against Leeds? What team was that he
Oh,
scored against? It
I
was
don't
like a
remember
League
now.
Cup. I think it was like a League
Yeah, it
Cup
was
against, I don't know, maybe Leeds or something. Oh yeah, I can remember. I
potentially.
remember the celebration. I remember everything
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, yeah,
That was
yeah, yeah.
amazing.
What a time! What a moment! But
Because
yeah,
we were
I
not
was
winning
looking at.
anything, so that was our only win.
So I think we had to celebrate back those days, but we're back now. But anyway, that's
We are
we'll
there.
touch on that maybe next year. Maybe next year. But yeah, I saw a few details from. I was trying to look into like the details of the deal, but it seems
Yeah.
like so I've got here. There's a report, a Spanish report from a source. So take it, take it as you
with
wish.
a pinch of salt.
With yeah, with a pinch, with a big pinch or so. So
Yeah.
apparently, there's claims that he's going to sign a 4-year contract there, and it's meant to be roughly about 54 million per season, which is
Mm-hmm.
about an eighth of what Saudi Arabia
Saudi Arabia was
were offering
offering.
him, which is crazy. But apparently, the highest player, right, the highest top earner in the MLS at the moment is Xherdan Shaqiri. You remember him? He's playing for Liverpool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Liverpool, yeah.
Yeah,
Is this
yeah,
is
he
this
can.
Swiss in it? Is Swiss in it?
Yeah, it's from Switzerland. He currently makes
Yeah.
8 million a year, so that's the highest paid player right now. So Messi's making about six, five, yeah, about six, 7 times that.
6 times.
Yeah,
Whoa.
6, 7 times that in a year, which is, and that's just the salary. And then he's been handed a purchase option of an MLS team. So I'm not sure if you remember when Beckham went to LA Galaxy.
Galaxy.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
basically agreed a fee for him to pay. I think it was 25 million, where they agreed a fee for him to pay that if he wants to own part of a team or like half the team or whatever it was, he can pay 25 million and have which is why where Inter Miami, the team that Messi's joining, actually started from. I think
Mm.
you'd have the whole team for 25 million, but they agreed that
Yeah.
in like 2018 or whatever, he plays, he retires, and then he comes and builds the team. And I think they only started officially,
Yeah,
I mean, like
they're new.
a couple of years now.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe is this not like their second or third season?
Yeah, yeah. So literally, I think it's been like, I want to say second season. So
Mm.
I think basically, so Messi's getting a similar deal. I'm not sure if it's like one of the teams, if he gets like part of the teams that's already there, or if he gets like basically kind of like a heavy discount on owning a team in the MLS currently. I mean, in the future, which either way, I think is a good play for him. I think it's very smart, and having a brand like Messi behind like an MLS team will really
Yeah.
push him along. So I think in the long term, obviously the team will probably. It seems like the league is getting better as well, the MLS. So in the long term, I think that would be quite good for him. And then the big deal is that Apple and Adidas both kind of worked with Messi. Well, obviously Messi signed to Adidas anyway. He wears Adidas boots, and Adidas is the official sponsor of the MLS. So
Uh-huh.
apparently they have like a sharing agreement with Messi. So they kind of said to him, listen, you can go to Saudi Arabia, but if you come to the MLS, it doesn't say what the percentages are, but let's say like it's like a much higher sell percentage. Let's say like a 50-50 split on whatever, however much Adidas makes from MLS related sales. And then Apple, I think this is this was the big mover here because well, most people don't know is Apple MLS signed a 10-year, $2.5 billion deal earlier this year actually to so that the MLS is shown exclusively on Apple. I think Apple were trying to get into sports business, so
Mm-hmm.
um, I think they've signed Messi somehow. I don't know what the link is. There's no details there. All we've been told is that like he's kind of gonna get a couple of deals with Apple TV. He's gonna have his own documentary on there, that kind of thing. But you know for a
Yeah.
fact, these guys have made a move to secure the MLS and then secure the
Yeah.
biggest player in the second biggest,
In the world.
whatever player in the world to bring them to the league. And the amount of viewership they're going to get, the amount of money that Apple are going to make on the back of this, Messi has to be
Yeah.
getting.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't imagine how much money he's going to make from that. I cannot imagine.
Yeah, he's gonna be collected.
It's ridiculous, right? I think
It's crazy.
it's
I can't wait to see.
it's
Sorry, I can't wait to
yeah. Go
see
ahead.
like in the next year, just to see that those are rich lists to see
Mm-hmm.
like what they are putting over there to say how much he made. You know what I mean? Even though it's
Yeah,
never 100% accurate, but I would just be curious just to
yeah. I think
see.
it's gonna be
So which
very
means
interesting. I
like
think. Go ahead. Sorry.
I would like to see like how like when it's done, like
Mm,
where he would end up, him and like Ronaldo, in terms of like career
mm,
earnings, because every time sort of like I'm always trying to figure out like and I read every time they put it up in Forbes. I'll always open different ones to see,
mm.
and I can't believe them. Like sometimes the way they write it, just I can't I
It's a
can't
bit.
believe uh, the sort of like their list. Of course, Jordan
Mm,
has made like the big chunk more than everybody,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
sometimes there is like numbers that you'd be like, there's definitely people have made more. Like even the fact that like when you look at Tiger Woods was the highest earner in the world from, I would like to say, from 2001 or 2 until 2012, 13. Like he
Jesus.
dominated that list. Like he was like that list for a decade.
Wow.
And I think 6 years of those, he was earning over 100 million.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
And do you know what I mean? Like these guys, sometimes I kind of try and work out the money they put. Even when they say like, I think for Michael Jordan, like the money's made, like they put it down, they put up like 2.4, 2.5 million, a billion. There's no way the guy made more.
Yeah, surely,
That's
right?
low. Like like Michael
Yeah.
Jordan, he was in the top, in the top 10 of the highest
Mm-hmm.
earners for 7 years straight after he retired.
Yeah. You wonder where they get the numbers from, right? It has to just be
That yeah, I'm always sort of
estimates or whatever, because like eh, sh- surely like some of these guys are really making like, I mean, the guy owns Jordan Brand, and that's
yeah.
besides he owns part of an NBA team, the Charlotte Hornets. He has whatever he wants to do outside of that. Magic Johnson's another
Mm.
NBA player who's a billionaire who has all kinds of stuff going. And you don't see these guys on these lists.
He doesn't even like he doesn't pop up on their list. Do you know what I mean? And do you know like there was a guy I decided, well, I'm still trying to find more. I decided to
Mm,
look like outside, the known, like US and people that played golf at the highest level, people that played football at the highest level, NBA at the highest level.
All
And I
right.
came across a guy called, I can't even say his name. I think it's like it's Ion. How do you say that name?
Ion.
Ion Tiriac or something. He
Okay.
is a Romanian former professional tennis player and ice hockey. Search his name. Search this guy. He played two
Wow. Why does it look?
sports. He
Let me just
look. What
describe.
does he look
Let
like?
me just
What
describe.
does he look like?
Let me just describe. He looks.
Describe the guy.
This guy. He's got a what? I don't know what do you call them? This it's like a.
Is that a goatee?
It's,
Is that, I don't know.
no,
Like a
that's not a
horseshoe.
goatee.
A horseshoe.
It's got like a horseshoe beard. I don't know what the beard. I don't know what the beard style is called, but
It's
it's
like
where you have the beard,
he,
the mustache, and it comes down. But he's shaved the side of the beard and the bottom, so
yeah.
it's just the bit here, and it's big, it's thick, and it looks like a mob boss. He's like old guy, but it looks like if you came across him, he'd still punch you up. Wow.
Yeah. He does. This guy, he played two sports, right? He played
Yeah.
professional tennis and also played ice hockey.
Okay. Professionally, well.
Yeah. Professionally both. Yeah, and
Okay.
and here's the thing. Here's the interesting part. You know the Madrid Open tennis tournament.
Mm.
He owns that.
The whole thing.
He owns the whole thing. Like I was searching, I was like, that doesn't make sense. Yeah. I searched a bit and I read different sources say he owns that. It's crazy, isn't
This is
it?
where it gets. So
But
why
I've
aren't
never
these
seen
guys
his
on
name.
this list?
I've never seen his
I've
name.
never heard of him until you told me right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I've never seen his name. Do you know someone else? Well, yes, for the well, not like we grew up in wrestling, right?
Right.
And Vince McMahon.
McMahon. Yeah.
Why is he not on the list? They never
Does he
show
count
him on the
as?
list. Yeah.
Does he count as an athlete?
Yeah. They'll put John Cena there, I'm sure. would they not count though?
Of course they would. Yeah, of course they would. Right. So that means
Because
Vince should be on
was he
there.
not a wrestler though? Yeah, he was a wrestler anyway.
He
Before he
was.
even
Yeah.
did all the, I think he was a
Yeah.
professional
You're
wrestler.
right.
So he should
Oh,
be on
yeah,
this
you're right.
list. He should be, and he's
Absolutely.
richer than Jordan. Well, he's made more money than Jordan.
Whoa.
So you should, you know what? I need us to make our own list.
We need to come up with the business and banter real sports on his list, because this is
this is not true.
This
If you go on Forbes, let me go on Forbes. What do they have on Forbes? Let me see.
Forbes is. You start to realize these games are,
because that's the one they talk about, innit? Like everybody looks to Forbes.
Yeah.
When they say.
But
I want the one of all time.
Yeah, go ahead. But surely, like, people are paying to be on these lists, because there's people who are making a lot more money who clearly.
Who doesn't feature on this list?
Yeah, exactly. Do you remember back a former Arsenal player, Matthew Flamini?
Oh yeah, Matthew Flamini. Yeah.
There was well, not rumors, or basically he was like a bit of a genius, like a French guy. Nobody knew that he owned like a biochemical company, I think.
But yeah, he started. I think
like a biochemical. Yeah, or owned at least a part of it. And
He's not
I'm
on the
looking
list
right
too.
now. Just yeah, he's not on the list now. But I'm looking right now, and they're saying that his company is
Is he not worth
GF
over 10 billion?
Biochemicals is worth 21 billion.
Oh, the last time I
That's what
heard
the
he was
company's
12.
worth right now. 21 billion. So
Wow.
even if he owns 1% of that or a couple of percent of that, just you start to
You know,
realize they pick and choose who to put on these lists.
who to put on the list, yeah.
Yeah, they pick and choose.
Because
Yeah, they pick and choose, or people are
because
paying
with
to get on
money
these
like
lists.
that, he doesn't feature. They don't put his name anywhere.
Absolutely not. And he
Wow.
only retired from football maybe 2, 3 years ago. So there's no way he shouldn't be on
Do you
the
know who
list.
else? Yeah. Do you know who else got money?
Mm.
George Ware.
Oh, does he? Why isn't he
Yeah,
like president or something?
I think so.
Isn't he president of where's he from? Is it like
Liberia.
Libya or
I
something?
think Liberia.
Liberia, that's it.
Yeah,
Uh,
he got money.
yeah, well that also kind of makes sense. I mean, when you're a president, it's you know you might not even
You make money.
have the money. Yeah,
You
you
know
might
what I
not even
mean?
have the money in your pocket per se, but it's just your ability to deploy the money. It just means you have the money. So
I would love to know how
it
much
becomes
he's
shaky.
worth
But
because
yeah,
they're not gonna put the proper thing. This guy is
it's crazy, right?
nah. He's made
Nah,
money.
you never know. You never know. Those kind of places. You see, Africa, Asia,
You just know someone
you'll
is
never know.
rich.
You'll never know. Like it's funny because you see like all these lists, like people saying, "Oh, like Elon Musk is now the richest person in the world," or what's the
Yeah.
guy, the LVMH guy,
Oh yeah,
Bernardo
yeah. What's his
Arnault is
name?
now he's
Yeah.
now he's now the richest man in the world, and then you go to these people in Saudi Arabia are offering Messi 400 million a year
400
to come
million a
kick a
year.
ball around, to kick a ball around. And you
And
think
the
these guys
thing
haven't
is,
had money? It's just family money that's been there for
yeah,
decades. Come on now.
that's
I
the
mean,
thing.
come on. These guys built Dubai from the ground up in
Yeah,
the Emirates over there. They literally built a city from the ground up, and they're printing millions. They are
yeah.
printing millions a day, and people are telling me this Bernardo I know is is the richest man in the world. Come on, man. Come on.
No chance. Those guys have money.
Oh, come
You know
on.
what I mean? You look
They
at
don't
them
play
like
these
when they
Forbes
buy.
games.
No, when they buy like a sports team, like it's like a toy. It's like a toy.
There's a rumor that the guys who bought PSG, they're friends
Yeah.
with the owners of Man City, and the Man City guy got jealous because this guy had PSG and wanted a bit of a competition, so that he just went and bought Manchester City and said, "Well, let's see who can do the better job here." And that's when you
Yeah.
realize that people are playing a totally different game. Some people
Yeah, that's
have
a
real money to
different
waste.
level.
Absolutely, it's crazy.
Wow. So
Absolutely
that
insane.
would be interesting to see how Messi goes with the MLS.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he will just
You know
rip the
us.
part.
Yeah, well, he's definitely going to elevate the league. This is the biggest star playing at the highest level that we've seen
Yeah,
make.
because
Definitely the
he's
MLS.
still like, yeah, he's still at his top of his pumps. He's still
Absolutely,
like really good. So
absolutely.
he's not going
Like
there
that.
like as a washed up player or anything like that. He's still
Yeah,
one of the best. So it'll be interesting. Mind you, he scored like whatever it was, like 60, 70 goals when he was in Barcelona playing
yeah,
in Spanish League and Champions League. Imagine how
yeah.
many goals he's gonna score.
It's gonna be crazy.
Imagine
And
how
I
many
think
goals he's gonna
he's gonna
score.
be. I think he's gonna be the first player to actually attract other good players to the league, and I think that will be
Yeah,
That would be the biggest turning point for the MLS. So it might be
yeah,
this
because
might be
players would
the
wanna go
the
there.
greatest thing they've done.
Yeah, I think
That'll be the greatest thing
that's a
they've
good
done.
one.
And
Yeah,
we
because
might have to
players
next
gotta,
next week. We might have to look at David Beckham because he started this team,
this guy.
got this for 25 mil, and then got the biggest star in the world to come join this team. Huh?
Yeah,
Just when we thought
and
the guy looks good,
yeah,
he had the beautiful girlfriend, he's got the kids, he had a superstar, he played the highest level. The girls
yeah,
love him, the guys love him. Just when we thought, this guy, okay, it's your time to go and relax and chill out. He's
he's
absolutely
making
killing
moves.
it. The business mogul now. On top of that, shout out to
Yeah,
David
he's
Beckham,
killing it.
man.
Yeah,
Crazy.
he's gone and absolutely destroyed. And they say like I just said, the list of I don't even know whose website this is. Whoever's website is, take it with a pinch
Mm,
of salt as well.
of
They
course.
have like, yeah, they're top 50 highest paid athletes of all time. So I'm
Mm.
not sure. I'm sure does this include endorsements, or is it just what they earned from? I think that include endorsements, because when I was looking, I think when I was reading Forbes, MJ had 2.5 billion that he earned from
Right.
endorsements and playing.
And
Here it
wages, yeah.
says, yeah, it says 2.4 billion, and then
Right.
adjusted to inflation, it's actually 3.3. And then
Okay.
Tiger Woods sitting next, a second, 2.5. Then Arnold Palmer. I remember Arnold Palmer, like he was like in his 50s and he was collecting cash. Like him and Jack,
Yeah.
he's actually next to him, Nicholas, the golfers. They were
Ah,
collecting
right.
money. Yeah. And then Ronaldo is fifth. LeBron is sixth with 1.5. Messi is seventh with 1.5, but he's seventh for now.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. For now. I
For
think. I
now,
think.
that's
I think at
interesting.
the end, like you were saying, he ended up overtaking Ronaldo. To be honest,
Yeah,
I think he
he's
might.
he's gonna
I
collect
mean,
cash. Like,
yeah, that's it. It's a shrewd business move. I think. I think a lot of people like to give Ronaldo. He's the good looking guy. He's the star. He's the diva. I think a lot of people like to give him the he's more marketable kind of thing. But this is a very shrewd business move from Messi and his team. So
yeah,
congratulations to them. Hopefully it works out.
I
Hopefully
hope
it
it works.
works
I
out.
I can't see it not working out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, surely not. Man.
I can't
Surely
see,
not.
because the thing with it is like he is that good. Is that team not bottom?
Yeah,
So the only way is up.
they're literally
They
at the
just
bottom now.
sacked.
Yeah,
Yeah, they just sacked Phil Neville.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, imagine
yeah.
Messi was about to go play. Imagine if Messi would have went and gone to play for Phil Neville. That is the funniest
Oh.
thing that could have ever happened. That would have been hilarious. Twitter would have been on
That would be
fire.
funny.
He's lucky he got fired at the right time.
Yeah, and is Rooney not managing there as well?
Yeah, it was at DC
I think
United, I
he is.
think.
Yeah, DC. Yeah, I think he went to DC.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
that's interesting.
yeah, the business of football is flying. You know what? Let's stick with sport. Let's wrap it up with the sports team. I got one more topic for you today that I wanted to touch on last week, but I didn't quite get
That's the
there.
topic that.
The
Yeah, that's the topic I saw. I think.
okay, the Conor McGregor documentary. Have you seen it yet?
No, I'm still to watch
Ah,
it,
okay. Okay, fair enough. Fair
but
enough.
I've
So
watched too much stuff about McGregor, so I'm sure.
yeah. I'm sure you know most of it. Obviously, you get to see more of an insight. They kind of
Mm.
done it a little bit different this time around. So the first documentary was like a full, it's like a it's like a film, feature length film. But this one they've kind of done like an hour episode, and they've split it. There's like one episode each. It's kind of like each fight. So you see him fight Khabib, Donald Cerrone, and then Dustin Poirier twice, and you see like he's kind of
Mm.
before and after of every single thing. And firstly, obviously it's highly produced, blah blah blah. It's what you expect, right? It's Netflix, so it's gonna be good quality. But you get you get a real insight of Connor and how different of a person he is now
Yeah.
because and if you remember when he was fighting, not just before he was fighting Jose Aldo, he would go. He was trash talking. They did like a tour. They did like a world tour. They went
Yeah.
to Ireland. They went to Brazil, and he's going and he's in his face, and I can see fear in your eyes. All of this stuff. And he's like, listen, the guy does not. He's not. He doesn't want it like me. He said he doesn't want it like me.
Yeah.
The guy's got kids at home. He's scared of losing his life. I will go and die in there. This is what Connor was saying, and you
Yeah.
see it just he's the guy that he was talking about back then. His
Yeah.
whole his whole scenario is different. Like he's he's a family man, and it, because the sport of like fighting is so ruthless. It's hard to
Yeah.
split. It's hard to carry the baby one day and then kill him at the next. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
you have to either be in one fascinating thing you see is in his second camp against Dustin Poirier. If you remember, like the first time they fought, Conor was very nice. He was like, "Oh, taste your hot sauce,
Yeah.
try
Yeah.
some of the
He was
Proctor,
talking
blah
about
blah blah."
yeah.
Yeah, and then the second time around they come, Conor is very much almost back to the Conor that it was before. He's saying, your wife's in my DMs, blah blah blah.
Mm.
You pee your head, all of this stuff, and it's because he makes a conscious decision to not bring his family for the whole camp. For that, he goes out to Vegas. He says, "Listen, I need to get back to the roots of me and my boxing, me and my fighting." Sorry. He goes out to Vegas and he's working. The reason he breaks his leg is because he overworks. And like, if you follow Connor from before, you know like that was always a thing. Connor would go into fights
Mm.
injured all the time because his whole thing is like, listen, really, yeah, I'm I pack a punch with this power, but no one will outwork me, and that was always his thing for the longest time. And it's crazy because you see in the documentary, you see probably about 6 7 weeks out before the fight, before the second fight, he's like checking, he's practicing kicks, and he damages the bone, and he has like a specialist fly in, or they go out to the specialist fly into him, and he's like, listen, you need to not train you can't do leg kicks for this. You need to be wearing shoes. You really need to be careful. Blah 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 blah. And he sticks to the advice until like a week before the fight when it's like, listen, I actually need to be like used to feeling what kicking someone's shin is like, and obviously without a
Mm.
doubt, it goes into the fight and breaks his leg, and that's why he loses. But also even within that fight, you see him coming back to the corner that it was. Even the fighting style, the focus, the way he's analyzing his opponent, everything was almost back to not back to the level that Connor was at, but the focus, the drive, the want to win was there far more than when he was with the family or whatnot. Um, it was just like quite a fascinating look at how mentality can drive you one way or the other. If that makes sense. Like he really needed it before he wanted it. He really needed it. He had no kids. He all he cared about was fighting, and
Yeah.
you could tell that's why he became the double champion, all of that stuff. And then you see a totally different side of a flipped second side of the coin per se of Conor McGregor, and it's fascinating because the funny thing is the belief that he has in himself has not changed one bit. Before every
Mm.
fight, and like trust me, even the Khabib fight, you see him, and everyone's saying he's going to lose. Everyone you see, like the coach is saying like, oh, they're trying to be defensive. Everyone, and he is the one person saying, no, I'm going to go there and win, and he totally believes it. He has zero doubt in his mind that he's going in there, he's going to win, which is hard because some fighters know. We've seen fighters. Some fighters go in there and you
Mm.
think he's
But
already
that
lost.
can be good, but that can be bad for you too. Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
Because
mm,
that belief, it's delusion. Do you know what I mean?
it is.
To a level. Because
It is.
um the thing is, it's difficult when you're looking at corner like he's killed it when it comes to what he does.
Mm,
But I think more than not, people with that much delusion, where like sometimes people go and they'll talk that they're gonna win, even when they know they're gonna lose, but they know. Sometimes with corner, it's
mm-hmm.
like I think he believes, like
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
Like he absolutely
Yeah.
believe what he's saying, because I
Yeah.
remember listening to Shell, what's his name? Shell Seman, the
Chelsea.
bad guy. Yeah, Shell Seman.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was asked like, when you go to fight, is there any time you ever go into a match and you thought, I don't think I can beat this guy? And
Mm.
yeah. I've had fights where, like, the moment the fight is announced, I know it's not. And he said when he fought John Jones, he said
Yeah.
he knew there was no chance. He said he knew there was no chance he was going to win, but he just had to play the game.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right.
And I think Connor is very like, he believes it. And I think because he got that much belief, it's taken him like so far. You have to remember, I think like Connor didn't come into UFC with like a clean record. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's very, very rare someone walks into MMA, like into UFC with, I don't know how many losses he had. I think he probably like he had a couple.
Yeah. The
And
couple. Yeah. I
he
think maybe
came
two.
in as yeah, he came in as if he had a clean record.
Absolutely.
Because his mindset was just solid.
Bulletproof.
You know what I mean?
Like
Like it's
you know
like
what?
he
You know
knew.
what, Craig? You know what? Right. I've seen some people come into sports and like we've obviously we've seen like Ronaldo, Messi going at it back to back or whatever, and we've seen LeBron, at least in my day and age, seen LeBron dominate the league, and even Steph Curry come through and was hot for like a few. Lewis Hamilton come through and dominate. Tiger Woods. You see that stretch that Connor had like 3 years
Mm.
where he came in and he's telling Dana, like he called his shot every single. He came in first fight. He's before the fight. He's telling Dana, "I'm going to get the bonus." He goes in there, knocks out the guy
50G.
first round. See, it's like Dana, 60 G's, baby, and he gets his money. Second fight, he kills them, and he kills them. And after the fight, the what's it called, the press, one of the journalists says to him, "Congratulations, you're now ranked eighth or whatever." And he says to him, "Listen, don't be mistaken. You might congratulate me for eighth, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm number one in this division, and I'm coming for the throne." And everyone's like, "Who the hell is this
How
guy?
dope.
His second fight, yeah, it's his second fight in the UFC. That's where he comes in. Third fight, he goes to Ireland. He sells out the show. Everyone's going crazy. He comes to talk about how he got gold chains and they cost a lot of money to make, and three people died making his gold watch. But Danny needs to pay him more. He's coming for the belt. Boom. He wins. He calls out Jose Aldo. They take a world tour, and he's this. I think there's someone who was in line for the title fight for ages, and he goes to the press conference and he's like, "Listen, this guy, I'm not gonna fight him. What I want to do is I want to bake a freshly slapped, freshly baked pie and smack it in his face because he thinks he's gonna get the title chance before me, and he's not." And Conor gets his title chance. He goes on his world tour. Aldo drops out or whatever. Conor fights Chad Mendes, beats him. He fights Jose Aldo, beats him in 9 seconds, wins the title, goes upperweight division, wins the title again, and every single moment he was calling it. He was calling how the fight is going to go. He was calling, "I'm going to do this," and it's this belief that we talk about. And he was, it's the craziest. I think this is why, like, I guess everyone in the, well, not everyone, but quite a lot of people in the UFC love him because I think it's so relatable because Connor's he's hood. You know what I'm saying? He's
Oh yeah, he's very good.
you know what I'm saying? He dresses like a chav now. You know what I'm saying? The guy's got hundreds of millions of dollars in the back, and you see him church, and you're like, yeah, but also I could see him in Birmingham City Centre with a bunch of the rest of the guys. To be honest, like literally,
Walking about 3 stripes.
yeah, you know. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like it's yeah, and I think he's relatable. Obviously, he's good with words, but he went on a crazy run because of this self belief that took him to such a. It was like I don't think I've seen a rise to stardom so from zero to like that level.
Yeah, it was so
Personally,
fast.
I can't think of anything that anyone else has done it like that. At least not in my
And I
lifetime.
think as well with Connor, it's like to think that he actually hasn't. I think since 2016, he's only won one fight.
Yeah, against Cerrone.
Yeah, and he's like, and the thing is, he'll come through as if he's on a 5 winning streak. When
Oh,
he talks, it's as if he hasn't lost.
absolutely.
When he talks, you think you probably have to go and check his record again because you come across as if he has not lost at all.
I don't know if you saw him and Michael Chandler doing this the Ultimate Fighter thing, and there was just a little clip of the show and them like meeting each other or whatever. And Connor butters him up. He goes in there, says, "Oh hey, blah blah." They say hi, hi, hi. And then Connor's like, "Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, I think you know what, we're gonna fight at 185." And Michael Chandler's like, "Yeah, 185. If you wanna fight at that, I'd do that or whatever. I'd fight you at 185." And then Connor just sweetly, the man game start playing. He just switches on him. He goes, "Yeah, you'll do what you're told." And I was like,
Yeah,
"This
I saw
fucking guy."
that.
And I said, "This fucking guy." I was like, "Oh my god, he's back." And like, you couldn't
but
wait. And he's walking around. And said, "You do it." It's I run this whole show, and it's that like you said, it works like he's on a 5 win streak. Like the guy
yeah,
has
because even when
absolutely lost the last few
yeah,
fights.
even when you look at that fight, and you'll be thinking like, damn, like if he's to win that fight, how is he even gonna win it? But he'll talk as if
Oh,
like he
like it's no contest.
yeah. That's the thing with him. Like his beliefs is like he got such a self belief, and I think as well, like when you look at Corner, um, I don't know whether he chose the right way or the things fall into the right place for him. Um, his management team, like I'm
Mm,
trying to see the name of the guy. He's his manager. He's
yeah.
like if you follow his story, he is interesting. Like interesting. I think he is called what is it? Is it Audi Outer? Yeah, I think
Yes. Yeah. That's it.
he got a
Yeah.
good
Yeah. So.
story. And like the thing is, all the things for him just are in right place. And even if you look
Mm,
at the companies he started, like it's like I was listening to an interview. His manager, the interview did
mm,
some time ago, and he was asked sort of like about Corner, like what makes him makes the right moves, and he said like
right.
they have a plan where if someone approaches them to do something, they go and do that thing. Like when he got approached, he got like loads of approaches to do with whiskey, because he drinks whiskey. He talks a lot about his granddad drinking whiskey and the love for whiskey. When he wins, he goes and drinks. Like, he talks about it a lot. And he had like a couple whiskey companies approaching him to give him like a promotional deals. So him and Audi Ata decided, you know what, let's start our own. So they did Proper 12. Do you know what I mean? And with that in mind, they didn't just do Proper 12. They went and found a guy called Ken Austin. Like, he's renowned for like the whiskey business. He done like a couple people's drinks and stuff like that. And I don't know who he's done, but I was like reading a bit on him. And they went and collaborated with him, and they came up with Proper 12. The same with his suits. When you see him wearing those suits, that's his suits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's his. It's because
and
he realized every time he come up with that, he was So he now wears his own suits.
August, David August, I think.
Yeah. So it's like all his moves. Like, I think recently, did he not what do you call it? Forged Irish Scout, the beer. It's like everything. Even the documentary, they produce it themselves. In his production company. So it's like all the things they've done, it's like their own. And I think those moves are really good. But I think as long as he stays with those good people around him, I think he will do some great things. Because I think his attitude towards life doesn't serve you well in business. It serves you well to build business. But to maintain that, you can't be that competitive and have that sort of like delusional belief that he has, where he walks and think he got the best thing. But I think he probably have like some good people around him. Because when you want to see how reckless he is, you want to see how reckless he is without proper management. When he says 60 G's, baby, when he got that money, do you know what he did? Apparently, he went and bought his mom a Range Rover, 75 grand. The winning cash and the bonus. He bought his mom a Range Rover. Mind you, when he was still going to this fight, apparently he actually collected his benefit check on his way to the airport. Because he was on the benefits. He collected $235, like it was euros, equivalent of $235, check for welfare when he was going for the fight. And he won the fight. He won loads of money, and he just went and blew the money. But I think he definitely knows his weaknesses and probably have like the right people, to guide him through it. You know what I mean? Like, when you look at his moves, like, I mean,
proper, right? Like, it's very much calculated. His moves match the brand. His moves are long-term plays. He must have a good team, because he doesn't seem like he has, obviously he's like the business savvy one in his group or whatnot, but he seems to really have a lot of people around him that are helping him execute these, because it's all on brand, right? Like stout, whiskey. There's like this. I don't know if it's there's like a football. I don't know if it's like a team or it's like the pub or whatever. It's like a football kit.
He owns. He wears. Do you know what he did? You see, when they sold their, did he sell all the shares from Proper 12?
No, I think it still has a bit.
Yeah, whenever they did that sale and he took some money out, he went on to, because he likes, every time he's always in the pub, like, so he decided to launch the stout, the Irish
Right.
stout. But along that, he got the pub. So that's what is driving this through.
Okay.
So he owns the
Right.
pub,
Okay.
but it's like for him to drive the so probably that pub, all they drink is, you know what I mean, like,
Is
and
that
it's
stuff?
more branding than anything. Even, did you see like recently there when what's her name, is it Katie, the boxer, the Irish boxer, Katie Taylor, something like
Yes.
that.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah, she fought a couple weeks ago. He sponsored the whole thing. Yeah, he
The whole
sponsored
event.
the whole event. Yeah, he was one of the main
Yeah.
sponsors.
Smart.
And
Smart.
if you watch the things to do, even Area was there. Area went up to Ireland. Most
Okay.
of his interviews were done in the pub. Most of his interviews for this fight were done in the pub.
I
He had
see.
like a couple people in there. He had Eddie Hearn and all these people. He's a smart guy. You know what I mean? He's a smart guy. But I just think he's very reckless. Like, as long as
Yes.
he keep the right people around him, you'll be good. And I don't think,
Yeah.
like when it comes to fighting, I don't think he should fight.
But the
Like,
thing
I think
is,
he should be selfish.
I think, yeah, but you know what I think, what I think it is with McGregor. I think he doesn't need to fight, but I think he needs to fight. I think for his brand, he doesn't need to fight, but I think for himself, I think if he doesn't have fight, I think he
Yeah,
goes all the way
but
left.
what is he gonna? But the problem with him is, like, what is he? Because I don't think this would do him. Like, I think he's a proud person. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And I think sometimes it's better to bail whilst you're on top, because, like, his record is, like, apart from, when people talk about McGregor and what he's done for the sport, it's the money. Do you know what I mean? It's like the guy brought the eyeballs. Like, the reason why most people watch UFC is because of him. He brought this sport to what it is right now. But that can only be talked about for a while. Like, for example, they'll say,
So
like, I think he got, is it eight of the top 10 pay-per-view
pay-per-view numbers.
numbers. These are his records. But of course, he got the two division champ. Like that, I think that he did well there. Like, because that is solid. But I think when you keep losing, and then your record as a fighter is getting damaged, and I'm sure he knows, going into Poirier 2, that he's not winning that. The first one, that's a different case. I think I was actually surprised. The first one, I was surprised how much of his game was no longer the same.
Was off.
You know what I mean? Yeah. He was off, like completely off. And he was big. And I'm sure when he was going for the second one, he wasn't as hungry, as Poirier would have been. And I think if he comes, and let's say he comes, like, Chandler is reckless. He could lose. But at the same time, Chandler could absolutely do some crazy things. You know what I mean? So that could be the thing where, who did he fight last, Chandler? The guy he knocked out with that, like, front kick shoe. Like, he just took him out. He fought, who did he fight? He fought someone recently and he knocked him out. It was reckless. But
I just remember
I
just remember Chandler fighting Justin Gaethje, and boy,
Gaethje, that was a crazy fight. That was a crazy fight. And Gaethje is for that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I think, like, it'll be good for him to, because he go out. Is it 22-6? I think it's 22-6.
Chandler.
No. McGregor.
McGregor.
22-6.
All right, okay.
That record is not it. You know what I mean?
No,
and he ranked most of those, like, he ranked most of those after Khabib.
Yeah, which is the bad part, because in UFC you can get away with having a bad record, but when you're stacking them all together, especially your most recent fights, all the ones that you're losing, then it's gonna work against them.
Exactly. And that's a
But
problem for
yeah, I
him,
mean,
where they'll look at that but I don't like, personally, I think I wouldn't want him to fight. I like to see him fight. He's entertaining. I know, like, when he's the next fight with Chandler, I'll watch a lot of stuff. It'll be something to look forward to. I'll stay up and I'll watch it. But because I like what
it's
he's
sad,
built.
right?
A lot of these people
Yeah.
in a lot of these people in combat, they always lose it. They will lose the money. You know what I mean? Mayweather is just the different person. He's the only one who doesn't look like he'll lose it. And like, you think, when I was researching about the richest list, and do you know how much money Evander Holyfield made in 1991? 60 million in 1991 from boxing. That's
Crazy.
crazy. Like, I was watching, like, I was reading on Tyson. Mike Tyson was making money and he went to jail and he came back and he was also still making money. And then he had these issues. Then he was on the sideline. He came back again and he was still collecting. And I think that's the thing with these guys, where, like, in combat sport, they always end up losing the money.
Yeah.
And
I heard.
and I just hope McGregor doesn't. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want him to lose it.
Yeah, hopefully not. I heard just to end on this quickly. I heard a story about how Rick Ross bought Evander Holyfield's old mansion. That's what, that's where he lives now. I don't think it's the one in Miami. It's one of his houses.
Is it the one with the biggest swimming pool?
Yeah, it's the one. Yeah, I think it's the biggest residential pool in the US.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But yeah, apparently,
That's crazy.
if Anders spent like 7 million on it, and Rick Ross bought it for like 3.5, just because he needed the money. How crazy is that?
But you know what? Like, remember who bought Tyson's?
Oh,
Remember?
I don't know.
50 Cent. 50 Cent bought.
Yes, it did. Yes,
Yeah,
it did.
50 Cent bought Tyson's too. And he struggled to offload it to himself, 50 Cent, at the end. So, like, it's a shame. So I hope he keeps his money. And
Hopefully.
I love the business of sport. It's interesting. Like you say, we need to look into David Beckham.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
He's
that's another one to look into the list. Yeah, because we never saw this coming, did we? Right? We never knew he had business acumen like this.
No, it didn't look like he was going to be a
We
guy that
thought he was
going to
be the brand
together.
deal guy. We thought he was going to be the brand deal guy.
Yeah, I thought he was going to just stick to the perfumes.
Selling
perfumes and boxes.
Just model for Calvin Klein and leave it at that. But boy, he's pulled this. This could be the biggest fake because he's going to be. How do you start a team, right? Join the league last year, and this year you are the biggest team ever ever to be in the league. Right, like literally, when Messi joined, that's going to be the biggest team to ever be in the league in its second year of running or third year, whatever.
Yeah,
that's insane. That's a move that this is like chess at a whole different level.
I need to go and put my money on Inter Miami. Winning.
Oh, let me quickly.
You wanna check?
No. There was a what's it called? There was a thing that showed the ticket difference. Hold on. Let me quickly find it. There's a thing that showed the ticket price before and after Messi joined, and it's like a 4-week difference. Yeah. Oh, okay. Here it was. This is the cheapest ticket before Messi. Okay, here it is. The cheapest ticket for Inter Miami's July 21st game was $29 before Messi joined. Right now, the cheapest ticket you can buy is $467. The power of Messi. Oh yeah, and PSG lost like 3 million followers in one night on
Oh,
Instagram when Messi left. How crazy is that?
if I follow them, I'm definitely gonna be unfollowing them
Yeah, absolutely. Why
because I was
else?
only following them because of Messi. I still follow
Yeah,
Barcelona because I liked Barcelona before,
yeah.
but
It's
PSG
different,
just
man.
because Messi was there,
Yeah, exactly.
and maybe Neymar might be leaving too, so there'll be nothing
Yeah,
there.
yeah. We're gonna have to
Mbappe
go to Real
just
Madrid. Have to go to Real Madrid and see what Jude
mm.
Bellingham does.
Who? No, I can't support Madrid.
How about
You wanna
Jude
know
Bellingham is
why?
there?
No, you wanna
Why?
know why? No, I would never support them.
Why?
You wanna know why? What color is their uniform?
Oh God.
Yeah.
We might have to.
I
We
do
might
not
have to end the
support
podcast
Leeds.
there.
I do not support Leeds. I do not support Real Madrid. I don't support anybody in white.
Anyone who wears a Spurs kit, a
I'm
Spurs
not
kit
supporting
in
that.
disguise.
The space in disguise.
Oh, fair enough.
That's the pod, guys.
Right, that's the part. See you next week.
Peace.